Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BTS series. We're live here. SEA action coming your way. We are going to finish up our final round of 8 match. So the winner of the series, iDeal versus First Departure, will move on into the top 4. They will be in the money. Loser, they walk away empty-handed, but hopefully with some experience that will aid them well in the future. So with that said, draft has begun. I'm LD. I'm joined by Winter. And, well, First Departure... not really the smoothest win so far, Winter, in this cup, but they keep on finding a way to come out on top.
Ban the Husker. I mean, it's more like tilt mode, you know, when you lose a game like this, and it's not even.
You keep on questioning the Husker. I'm telling you, man, it's annoying.
It's not a first ban hero though, honestly.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but. I think other teams feel. I think when you play against it, like teams just get really frustrated by it.
I know you want to disagree with me, but.
Well, we'll see if it works. I guess let's see how successful this ban is. It's definitely unorthodox.
Yeah, I think you just need to have a good lineup against it. Yes, I don't think it needs to be banned, but they already banned it, so no point talking about it. Now they have Lina and Shadowfin as their opening heroes, which is not something we see too much on the Dire side. If it's a Radiant team that actually pick Lina and Shadowfin as their opening, it will be much more common.
First Departure going with the heal strats. Undying Dazzle. Is this an Ancient Apparition game for iDeal?
Ice Blast them. It depends though. It's not like the whole game plan will revolve around the healing. Or if the enemy builds a 5-man, like you want to push towers, like maybe with Dragon Knight type of lineup, then maybe A would become a viable pick. But if it's just specifically to deal with the heal, and that might not be the core of the draft, right? You can still go for some other things.
Queen of Pain now snapped up by First Departure. So they get some strong laners here, the Winter. The Undying, the Quap. Definitely a lineup that could snowball. iDeal, what are they looking for?
They still don't. I mean, on First Departure side, they still don't have. They need lockdown against magic immunity because that's against SF. And iDeal wants to get possibly a defensive support. Maybe there's still a Wyvern. Wyvern might be a good pickup against the Shadowfin or with the Shadowfin's team to set up a Requiem or to protect the Shadowfin against all the physical damage that might come in because there's a Dazzle, a lot of minus armor already.
And now the Spear Breaker from iDeal, so they get their own excellent initiator here. No Bloodseeker or Storm along with them this time though, so we'll see if the Spear Breaker finds the openings, but there are 0 real stuns here, Winter. 0.
Spirit Breaker and Lina is something that I favor more than the Spirit Breaker and Storm. But you're right, there's still no stun, so they need lockdown, obviously, in the next 2 picks.
What do you think what's going to give them that lockdown that also fits the draft tier? They've already got at least one support.
It's tough though with the Dazzle. It's like a lot of partners with Dazzle don't really go very well that has lockdown, honestly. And you usually go with maybe, if you want aggressive, you go with Shadow Demon Dazzle, but it's not something you see teams been using anymore. And there's like Bane if you want lockdown. Bane, Rubik. Rubik in this sort of game feels like, I don't know. So they're gonna go for the Wyvern against the SF that I talked about previously. I think Wyvern is one of the better lockdowns against SF when he's BKB channeling the Requiem.
Yeah, he does. They do have a lot of nuke damage to pierce that Cold Embrace, so may not be a full solution, but a very defensive lineup for FD, and I guess it sets up for a super carry here. What's the super carry?
There's no AM, there's no PL, so these are the 2 biggest super carry. The next super carry is like Medusa. Medusa is like tanky, and if you have Dazzle and Wyvern, technically the Medusa it's not gonna die in a fight because you have so much to protect him. But then again, it comes back to the same problem, right? You don't have stuns apart from the Winter's Curse, so that might be a problem for a team. But if you want to go for a super carry and you want to go for lockdown, it's kind of difficult. I think the only hero that can fit that criteria is like maybe Faceless Void.
Yeah, they don't have an amazing combo for Chrono, just the Quap really.
Yeah, it's not very ideal here.
I mean, they also have the Winter's Curse, but it's like the bigger issue is the damage.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, when you Winter's Curse, right, you don't want to combo it with Chrono because
Yeah,
you
then
want
they're
the
not hitting anyone.
yeah, then it's not hitting anyone, then it becomes weird, you know. So you don't want that with the curse.
Skywrath
I
Mage will be the pickup here. A lot of nuke
That's a
damage. A really good game for the
counter.
silence.
Good counter for the embrace. You just nuke with your ultimate when the Wyvern embraces the target.
Also Undying and Dazzle. If you can silence them before the Tombstone of the Grave comes out, that could be very game changing.
It's actually a very good pick here. It's really good versus the Queen as well. It's a pick that's good versus the 4 heroes that FD have.
10 seconds
Interestingly, first departure will ban Juggernaut. I hear that we've seen a little smattering of here or there.
They banned Juggernaut, yeah? Against when they have Wyvern and Dazzle. So their last pick has to be Afraid of Juggernaut. What is Afraid of Juggernaut? Luna?
That's a weird. It's a weird question. Like I'm trying to think. Who is
But-
afraid of Juggernaut?
This is not even that afraid of Juggernaut.
Dire team pick.
What heroes with low armor?
Maybe they just don't want iDeal to have like a lineup because if you put Juggernaut in iDeal's lineup, they can kill heroes very well and they can take Roshan very well. Juggernaut plus SF.
Well, we wanted a hero that had lockdown and damage. Wind Ranger technically has both.
Yep. This is like a better version of the Void, I want to say.
Yeah. A little more laning proficiency. Not so reliant on a super long cooldown ultimate.
5 seconds remaining.
But not a hugely
still,
late game lineup here either for
It's
first
not a
departure.
reliable lockdown, right? Not like Chrono. But
No.
it actually might actually work depending on how well the player executes the shackles. And right now, I would say FD have very strong lanes. Queen of Pain, Wind Ranger, and Undying. Their lanes are very, very strong. And Ideal's lanes are not weak either, but I still think FD has much more potential in doing well in the laning phase. The Wyvern can be very annoying, running around to gank, and Dazzle can... I think the Dazzle can even lane with the Undying, right? They don't need to protect their safe lane hero in this game, because it's a Queen and a Wind Ranger.
10 seconds remaining.
iDeal with the final pick now. What's it going to be here?
5 seconds.
They've got their Initiator and the Spirit Breaker. They've got their damage from the Lina Shadow Fiend, and they will round it out with a Rubik. Some very good spell steals this game. Let's see if he can make it a difference maker.
So the lanes, what are they going to do with the lanes? Maybe just defensive lane with the SF and leave SB alone. So it'll be like Rubik plus Sky. Maybe the Sky will go with the SB, I'm not sure. That might be possible. And then leave the Rubik with... they can even do Rubik plus Lina, right, on safe lane, and do SF mid.
Yeah, I like that. And then you can kind of float the Spirit Breaker around, maybe charge mid if you see an opening. Otherwise, just 2-1-2.
If you're looking to be more aggressive in the mid lane, then you would rather have the Lina in mid, since you can follow up with a stun. SF is like, it's strong only when he hits level 5, but during the early levels, if you want to make a gank possible with the Spirit Breaker charging towards middle lane, Lina would be much more easy to execute in that regard. Is TNT the mid player from the last game? Or no, Toy was the mid player, so it's gonna be a SF mid and Lina with Rubik on safe lane.
Yeah, TNT is normally the safe laner.
But if they do Rubik plus Lina safe lane and the opponent does Undying plus Dazzle, I would say the Rubik and Lina is a bit stronger, but Undying and Dazzle still has like chance to win the lane. Spirit Breaker TP's down to place a ward.
Yeah, I feel like we see this almost every game now. At least one player will go for their immediate TP.
Not on the core Spirit Breaker, you know. It's always the support.
Yeah, and he did buy the TP, I believe.
I think this has been becoming more and more popular because of a lot of reasons, right? Because it's harder to get the wards off now, and you want to be early to place a ward so the enemy doesn't see you. Like the information you provide with the investment of 100 gold is actually worth it.
Well, and also, like, if you waste a ward now, it's a lot more costly than, you know, like a year ago when you could have more at the start. Now you've only got the 2, so you really got to make them count.
Yeah, and TP got cheaper as well, so that's also another thing to think
Yes,
about.
that's a good point.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, Winter, game 2. Could be our last game of the day, or maybe we'll go to a deciding game number 3. First departure. representing Singapore will be on the Radiant side. You've got Miracle, the Wind Ranger, Kal, the Undying, Kai will be the Dazzle, or Kal, of course, also known as Hana. Lubby, your Winter Wyvern, with an early smoke picked up. And Fixer is not on the PL. This time he is the Queen of Pain. iDeal, meanwhile, KYT, the offlane Spirit Breaker, Toy, your Shadow Fiend, Noki, going to be playing the support Rubik, YO2 on the Skywrath, and then TNT on the Lina.
I'm disappointed. You started out by saying our representatives from Singapore, FD, and you didn't say where iDeal. Where is iDeal?
Our representatives from Thailand is Cyclops is also our cheerleader from Thailand in the chat. So we've got they might have an unfair advantage with him constantly whipping the viewers into an iDeal frenzy.
iDeal frenzy.
So Lubby will start off mid. We're going to see a full-on dual lane here off the bat, and Miracle taking the brunt of the nuke damage already. Toy did go for the early Necromastery. Miracle with a little bit of pooled regen here to help him out. He is taking a pounding.
Like what we talk about. It's going to be a Rubik Lina and a Dazzle Undying versus that. Then Skyrock will be floating around like the Wyvern, because these two supports you play very similar. You just run around, rotate around, you try to get Harris at the first level towards the middle lane a lot. That's generally how you play Sky and Wyvern, and you rotate accordingly after that.
Oh, Tana in a bit far. He's just going to turn and smack them anyway, though. That's a K really adding up.
Did they actually get a Deward here? I didn't see. No, it's actually not a Deward. It's just sentries here placed. They thought there was wards there. But the sentry on the Radiant side is actually blocking the pool camp here. Oh, here we go. The lift.
Lift comes out, and Lina's stunned there, but this is a very tanky lane. Probably one of the hardest lanes in the game to get kills on early. And, well, yep, then there's a first blood bottom. Well, that's a fail. Spirit Breaker, Skywrath Mage, only a level 2 Skywrath Mage. Somehow they managed to find it as...
It was a level 1 Skywrath.
Just at level 2, so didn't even have the silence. They still get the Queen of Pain kill. And now the rotation from Lubby comes towards the top lane. Zombie working on TNT. They can kill this thing off. Noki not doing it. It's slowing him down a little bit. Now it will die. He will make it out. Heavy pressure in the top lane.
Lina is actually still farming quite okay. He might need to send... There's no more regen, right? So he needs to send a Salve or a Tango, but SF is going to send a bottle in a moment. He's going to get one creep and send a bottle, so they need to time this. Oh no, he's actually sending the courier. The SF is going to be yelling at him now.
Yeah, what the hell do you think you're doing? It goes right back to the base, gets the bottle. Will not be heading top first.
Like teams always, you know, even though some teams can be very coordinated, stuff like this still happens, you know. You want a tango, you want a bottle, but you always have to send it out at one go during the early phases. It's very important for the mid laner to get his item first before you, even though you might be struggling in the lane, like the Lina right now, it's still important to pass the bottle to the SF first before you actually get your tangles or your salves, whatnot.
They do throw out a decay here. They've gone for the poison touch build, a little more aggressive, and now the tombstone dropped again. Need a bit more auto attack damage to finish off TNT, and looks like he may make it out. Lubby also rotating in, has the Arctic Burn. Zombie finished off. They're doing a pretty good job of disengaging here, and well, the Dazzle, as survivable as he makes the Undying, doesn't have the biggest kill potential at this stage, so he will retreat. Meanwhile, bottom lane, KYT aggressively trying to steal the stack, or the pull, I should say, and now onto mid, where Toy may get caught out here, looking for the low ground shackle, but Miracle only has the level 1 shackle. Not too much kill power.
Yeah, the Wyvern was also still level 1 when that happened. Now he's gonna usually save, Wyverns are level 2, you save a skill point to see if you want to get the slow or the embrace later, depending on the situation.
Doesn't seem like they're in much danger of dying here. First departure.
Yeah, if you want to gank middle, obviously you skill the blast, but who knows, you know, you might actually need the embrace for a specific situation. So I think it's always better to keep a skill point instead of spending the skill point too early.
Yeah, just it's kind of compulsive that you just want to spend it, you know, but you must remain disciplined.
They see the Rubik. Oh, he's gonna get clipped.
Try to cliff the... Oh, he got him, but Dazzle does have a TP. Not the biggest deal. Noki Also getting caught out by the Arctic Burn Slow. May end up going down here to auto attack damage. Has the stick charges though. Does he pop it? Yes, he does. Now trying the neutral deny. Gets it off. The crit from the Alpha Wolf helping to ensure the deny there. So he doesn't ends up cliffing one, dies, but doesn't give away too much.
That was unfortunate for him not to get anything. The Wyvern needed to at least get a kill though. When you're roaming so much, you're committing so heavily on the movement, the early movement, and you're not doing any pulls. It's very important to get experience from a kill.
He's starting to feel a wee bit under-leveled as Noki tosses back Miracle into the nukes. Got off the wind run real quick. Running in circles around Toy, just lapping him and still unable to finish him off. Miracle trying to put on the fancy footwork, but in the end, he'll just run away. That was a rather interesting sequence of movements. Now the shackle connecting on mid.
I know. He was trying to dodge the race though, but he still got hit by the race in the end.
And he still lived on top of that. So that's the funny part. Miracle looking for a shackle maybe. It is level 1. Tower shot, auto attack. There's a single bottle charge. He commits for it. Will get the kill. And maybe even makes it out here. The charge comes from the bottom lane, but it's a long way for KYT to go. Radiant team does have a ward. Oh, Miracle. He may overstay his welcome. Does he stick around just a second or two longer? Has the shackle to cancel the charge. And KYT won't be able to commit.
The lanes are going very good for FP. Even the Queen, after dying at the start, he still has very good CS. If you look at their last hits, Windrunner and Queen are the top leaders on the CS chart.
Lobby gets aggressive now, moving in. He's got backup. Kai also here, just the level 1 poison touch. Raze number 1 comes out. There's the grave and the tombstone as well. Everything committed onto Toy. Raze almost perfectly timed, but Lubby just barely lives and now looks to waddle away. He wants to just neutral deny, but there's no neutrals to deny to. He's got to run all the way to the stack. And he will
suicide.
He will suicide. He
didn't spend his gold. He lost.
I think it was just panicked that like the Spirit Breaker was charging him or something.
Yeah, they didn't actually have vision of the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, that was right.
KYT now charging bottom. Is he going? Not that deep. Always hoping the Spirit Breaker will just like completely suicide dive the tower and go for the 17%, but not this time.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, he didn't believe, you know.
It's always when you're not counting on the bashes that you just get like the 10 bashes in a row. I feel like it's never when you expect it. You gotta let it come to you naturally, man. Can't force it.
But at this moment, I think iDeal are still doing quite well in catching up from SF, even though he had quite a tough lane. He died twice, but CS-wise, he's still okay. Just net worth-wise, he's actually quite behind the Windrunner, but he's almost the same as the Queen of Pain. And if you look at the second and the third net worth, it's the Spirit Breaker and the Lina. So it's only the Wind Ranger being very far ahead because he got a lot of CS and he got a kill on the SF.
We do have a pause now. 3-2 the score. First departure on top by a decent amount of gold, about 1,200 or so. They have got all 3 of their cores farming pretty nicely. And, so too to iDeal. In terms of CS, fairly even game.
It's just the Windrunner being very far ahead. Glimmer Cape is a very good item this game against iDeal. iDeal have a lot of spell damage, so you want to get Glimmer Cape on possibly the Undying and the Wyvern. It's going to do a lot of work for them.
Yeah, iDeal... I guess what's the physical damage? It's like just the Shadow Fiend auto attacks and maybe that pure damage Laguna Blade later on.
Sometime in the near future.
Soon, TM. Valve's time.
We're gonna say the same thing, dude.
I'm stealing your material, sorry.
No, I think I was stealing your material. Because I know you used to say it a lot. Valve time. Soon. Well,
I mean, I'm feeling like Valve time is it's foremost in my mind, Winter, because I think I speak for everyone when I say, where is our 6.85? Or better yet, where is our 7.00?
Where's Pitlord?
Where's Pitlord? Where's Arc Warden? Where is a new hero? It's been a really long time since a truly new hero was introduced to Dota. I think we should start a riot. That always gets Ice Frog's attention.
I don't think Icefog would appreciate that, so I would suggest you not to do that. A friendly advice, not to get yourself into trouble.
I was kidding. Don't actually riot, guys. Just be patient. And if you do, then make sure you blame at Winter Dota for, or maybe at
What?
Merlini Dota for any negative effects of the riot.
Man, you're just a blamer, dude. I can imagine if you're like if you ever make a Dota team, you're gonna be the cancerous player on the team.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah, right. I've seen you play your pub games. I've seen the evil side of Mr. David.
Everybody has their moments, man. Everyone rages sometimes.
Don't burn your
Sometimes,
fingers.
like,
Dota's a
shit.
rage-inducing game.
That's why you watch soap opera now. You quit Dota. You just cast the games and you don't play.
I do play. I played yesterday.
You played Reborn yesterday.
First of all, no. And so what if I played Reborn? Is that not, that's not allowed? Are you a Reborn hater? Would you rather live in the past?
It's not Dota if you're playing custom games.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about custom games. Anyway, back to actual Dota. I was busy trying to cast the game before Winter
see,
rudely
look,
hijacked.
Look at that. The blames begin.
Yeah, suck on that. Invis Miracle on the hunt now. He's got his focus fire picked up, and there is actually a Sentry Ward nearby, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Winter. Toy wasn't around the tree line. He didn't see this coming. Oh, he just got vision, it looks like. Ping comes out. We'll back off in the nick of time.
When you look at the SF backing to base with so much HP and mana, you know he sees you.
They are getting aggressive here on the top lane. Hana caught out. He gets off the Tombstone. Laguna, no hesitation there, used to secure the kill. And on the bottom side of the map, at the same moment, they jumped in on the Queen of Pain, got off the silence, securing the kill. As Miracle still moseying about with this Invis and hunting, but unable to secure his prey. They will retreat.
That was actually a moment where your mid is trying to gank and all the other lanes are trying to not give out any information. Everyone is playing like normal, like nothing is going on, and then both lanes die because the hunter is actually not in a good position and he didn't find anything. We call that acting, you know. You're trying to act like nothing is going on.
That's the Director 8 thing. He's an actor.
Yeah, you try to play like your mid is actually not trying to gank the lane, so you act like you're normal. And then
Lubby, very well timed embrace here, but they could have gotten him low with the raises. Would have been enough for a kill. Shackle comes through. Miracle with the big counter gank. There is no charge or Nether Strike available. Not enough damage though, and now Lubby in too far. A 4-hero rotation blasts him off the map. Pretty heavy commitment there. It's still Miracle gonna push in the lane.
I think Lina is. I think he's deciding whether one he wants to go for. I think Use can actually be the build for this game. Sometimes you see players go Bloodstone first. I think this game Use might actually do a lot of work. Oh, here comes the charge. Hannah's dead.
Can he get off the Tombstone? No chance with the Laguna coming out. Tries to run, but that's way before the Slave even gets cast. And the Undying coming to the off lane just does not seem to be working out. That's twice now he's gotten punished.
Yeah, I think they need to group, you know, because they have level 7 on the Undying. They have Sonic Wave. They should try to group because you don't really want to go alone against a Spirit Breaker. You never know where he's charging. So I think FD is very good at their lineup is very good at grouping up and taking a fight now. I don't think iDeal can actually deal with it. They don't have a mech yet on the Shadow Fiend, so it's actually better for FD to group up right now at this point to try and maybe force a tower, because like you said, if he goes back top, he's just gonna die repeatedly. There's no vision for him, so he's not safe at top, and he is already at level 7. He doesn't need any more levels as of now.
Feels like they have a really scary team fight as well with the heal spam, the Tombstone. They also have the Curse, just got it for Lubby. This seems like it could be a timing window for First Departure to take a fight.
I think they are actually going to be much stronger. I mean, iDeal's lineup, if you look at how they are going to, if they were to defend the tower, how are they going to take a fight? They have to focus someone with charge and then drop all the spells to kill a singular target, right? But you have Dazzle and Winter Wyvern, so you are your lineup is very built against dealing with the single target focus fire that iDeal have. Their AoE damage is from SF, which is not enough to kill anyone right now because he's still like, I think it's a level 1 ultimate. Yeah, it's a level 1 ultimate still. It's a lot of spread damage, and then you have Dazzle to actually repair the damage and Soul Rip on Undying. So I definitely think that FD's lineup is very, very strong right now to push S5, and I don't think iDeal can actually deal with it that easily.
Yeah, I would agree. And they've got the focus fire level 2, so they can even take the buildings down really fast if they get into position.
Yeah, I think if they force one tower, they win a fight there. Windrunner is gonna... Man, I keep saying Windrunner. Sorry. Wind Ranger is gonna get her Aghanim's after that.
I also keep on saying Windrunner. I can't shake it.
Yeah, we should actually shake off
It's weird because even though she's the Wind Ranger, the spell is still called Windrun, so... Even Valve was like not fully committed to the name change.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
I mean, it's
wind
a spell,
range.
Right? No, it's wind run, right? It's sort of like a spell. You run with the wind, or you run like the wind.
Yeah, but
so
range is a verb. You can range about.
So how do you put it in the spell? So wind range.
Vary or extend between specified limits. Or place or arrange in a row or rows or in a specified
how
order
do you
or
put
manner.
it if you were to rename Windrun to Wind Rangers? Something to do with the range. How would you name it?
The ability or the hero name?
Yeah, the ability. Wind range.
It has to be wind range, right?
But is that even logical? Does it have a meaning, wind range?
It means travel or wander over a wide area. So yeah, I think it's pretty logical.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually mean what the spell does.
Yeah, it lets you move more around the map. Like you extend your sphere of influence.
Okay, I'll give up.
Checkmate. Haha. Who's the real chess champion now?
Can I offer you a draw? Fighting is not
Why
always...
would I accept your offer when I'm winning? What's in it for me?
Fighting is always not the best solution. You have to sign a peace treaty, because when someone is winning, there's still a losing side. So someone is at the losing end. And
so you're saying we're all winners?
Yeah, if it's
we're all winters.
Everyone is happy if it's a peace treaty and if it's a draw. So I'm sincerely offering you a draw in the win-run matter here, and I would hope that you actually accept it.
All right, just this one time, Winter. Don't you start taking it for granted. Just because you're my buddy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Reconnect from the Skywrath. Very even game, guys. For those just joining us, I see some of you trickling in. Pull up a seat, get your popcorn, whatever your beverage of choice is, and then wait, because Kai is not ready. Just kidding. Now he is. 1-0 the score, first departure. One more win here. They will move into the top 4.
I'm really waiting to see when are they actually going to group up though. They have to realize their lineup is actually much more potent than iDeal's lineup at grouping up right now.
They do charge fixers. Nether Strike coming through. No, he gets cursed. Another turn. KYT, where's he going to go? Slow down for days and days, and we'll end up dying. And now YO2 could be the man that drops next. There's an ult available on the Queen of Pain here. Chasing. Blinks forward. There's the ult. Eliminates the Skywrath Mage, and they get 2 kills. Now they're going to look to push the tower, perhaps. No, they're missing the creep wave. So it might take a little while.
They're missing more than the creep wave. They're missing the Undying and the Wind Ranger. That's their tower killers, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But they're going to have a stone cold killer soon. Is Miracle. Not only does he have the level 2 ultimate, but he's very close to his eggs here. He's still the leader in net worth. Needs to be the big single target damage dealer this game.
Oh no, not again. You know, this is where the point... I think it's the responsibility of the Undying to actually make these calls, you know. When you're playing a hero like Undying, you have to be the one that tells your team, I'm actually ready to team fight. I don't want to be alone defending towers and taking a lane to farm, because that's just not my job, right? You have to be initiating the push. You tell your team, we need to go push and utilize my tombstone. I feel a lot of people actually don't really do that enough. They just, you play in a game, right? And you just wait for the captain to drop the order. But instead that it's actually more of your responsibility to know that this is your timing window. So you know your hero is really strong now. You have to tell your team you take the fight to the enemy right now because I'm actually really strong at this point in the game.
Another disconnect as Noki continues to... Oh, actually, this time it's YO2. YO2 is struggling. Fixers will pause the game, so some good manners here from First Departure.
Tell me, LD, are you the guy who actually waits for the captain to make the call, or are you the guy who actually... Team, I'm strong now, we need to go.
I don't know. It depends on the situation.
No, you have to choose one. You can't be political about that. You have to take a side. Sorry, not political, diplomatic about that. I messed up the word.
I'll let someone else make the call. I'm too busy farming. See you in 30 minutes.
What? If you're playing Undying, you say that?
No, you never said I was playing Undying.
Okay, so if you're playing Undying...
If I'm playing Undying, then I'm just running at them all game. That's the only thing to do is Undying.
I guess you will never play Undying because you're a selfish player.
Jesus, dude. You're just savage today.
And you're
What, who pissed in your cereal?
You.
What? I fed you. I took you out for a nice dinner.
Yeah, you fed me the broken cereal.
What does that even mean?
Okay, the overdue cereal.
What does that even mean?
The overdue cereal, the cereal that has passed the...
Stale cereal, you mean?
Yeah, the stale cereal.
Overdue, like you have to return it and you're getting like library.
Yeah, it's like way past what is it called? The date. You know, there's a date on the cereal.
Expired.
Oh, the expiry date. So it's not called overdue cereal, it's called stale cereal.
I don't know. I've never heard that. I've definitely never heard that expression before, but maybe someone calls it that. Yeah, I don't know. Stale is normally the word that comes to mind. Takes a long time for cereal to get stale, though.
Okay, stale. Thank you for giving me an English lesson today.
I'm sure you'll give me one tomorrow. So it's just to keep it even.
I don't think I can give you English lessons.
You know, I believe in you. I'm sure you got something up your sleeve. What's the most obscure word that you know, Winter? Let's see if you know one word that I don't.
No, it's not coming to me now.
Okay. If it comes to you later, then. There's a charge bottom lane, though. KYT going in on the Fixers. They hold Embrace, and this actually sets up for the death. Almost. They get the kill in the end. Just Skywrath melting down that Queen of Pain. Now the return exchanges. We'll get aggressive here. Toy also joining the fight. Everybody wants to be involved in this bottom lane, and meanwhile, there's two heroes moving into position mid. iDeal maybe setting up a miracle, but he's not an easy kill. And in fact, fishing for a shackle. Now Noki gets the lift, but no mana on the Lina. No real chance of that. We'll end up backing off.
So he'll actually be indeed going for the Bloodstone first this game. It's still a really good farming item. We saw yesterday... Was it yesterday where the Lina always... it was against Fnatic when they were trying to kill Mushi on Signature Trust, and the Lina always doesn't have mana for his combo.
Yeah, well, I guess with the Bloodstone coming, that should address the issue pretty soon.
Yeah, and it would actually speed his farming up by a lot. So I think this is a good option for him, even though I feel the Eels might do a lot.
Here we go. Lobby going in with the initial curse. Tombstone getting dropped right on top of Toy, who tries to turn this with the Requiem. Queen of Pain not available for 20 seconds, but they get the Shackle. Miracle just lays into him, does a lot of damage, ends up securing the kill. That will be the death of the Shadow Fiend. Now KYT charging away. YO2 TPing out. Blink Scream. He gets bashed again. The power shot just missing him. Looks like it pierced his heart, but ends up dying anyway to the tick down from the Undying. And First Departure, making it a 2 for 2. Miracle Ags now complete. Very large Wind Ranger.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, I think I know the word.
What?
Okay, maybe not. That you definitely know
Were
that
you
word.
alt-tab, like, looking at the dictionary or something?
No, I'm not alt-tab. I'm just trying to think of the word. But I don't think it's a good idea. Most of the words I know, you definitely know.
Dire's middle tower is under
All right,
attack.
well, you can always stump me with any language besides English, so there's that. I'm just American.
Then it wouldn't be fair. I don't want to win like that.
Fair is fair. That's an advantage.
Radiant
It's
structures
you
are
know, oh, I know a little French. I know a little
Radiant's
French.
top tower is
And I'm going to tell you some Mandarin, but obviously, or top lane.
This Lina just perpetually out of mana. TNT, not really his gank. He'll end up getting the tower denied. End goes down. He's struggling a bit here, despite the decent early start. Hasn't had much of an impact lately, and now they move in bottom. Rotating
They're
in
going to try
Skyrack.
and defend here as well. I'm not sure though. They can't really bring the Undying and Queen down. Queen has to go back to heal.
Charge, Lobby. Does have the Cold Embrace, doesn't use it right away. Mystic Flare coming out, tries to get out of this before he ends up going down, but now the Grave holding Lobby alive for the time being. Shackle, not gonna latch, still doing okay auto attack damage. Miracle, fairly high level power shot, and not quite enough. KYT gets away with 30 HP. Charges onto mid, he'll stop the charge and TP himself away. Does end up making it out.
That was really surprising defense though, because the Queen didn't have mana and they still wanted to defend the tower. And they,
Radiant's middle tower.
as a result, they didn't defend the tower and they lost the Wyvern in the process. So I think that was a really bad decision to defend the tower, because they had two heroes that weren't able to come to the defense.
There's the
Undying
Tombstone
was
spell
like-
steal. Oh, big for Noki.
Oh, they can actually take a fight right now with the Tombstone. That's huge.
They have
But
the mech
all
as well.
all the tier 1 towers are down though, so there's no immediate objective for iDeal.
Miracle gonna
Maybe
skirt.
Roshan? Maybe Roshan?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what they want to do. Miracle scurries up to that top rune and will grab himself an illusion.
Hey.
Meanwhile, KYT camping out the bounty rune bottom.
If they want to do Rosh, they would have to buy a medallion on the Skyrath or the Rubik. And both of the supports actually have gold for the item.
But they are not spending it yet. No medallion pickup. Instead,
So they're
just
probably not
moving
gonna
through
do
the
it.
enemy jungle. Noki getting into position, perhaps, for a push. He thinks better of it. Just looks like he'll be the bodyguard for Toy. He's building towards the BKB now. They have the ward up here, so decent vision for the Dire side. Lobby and Call do move in again. Miracle gonna try to finish off the tower. Does end up getting denied. Almost had it. Just a
I
bit
actually
short.
think that it might actually not be a BKB though, this game. It might be just a SNY for the SF. BKB is not so useful. I think there's a lot of stuff that go through the BKB.
They do drop the Tombstone. 2 Tombstones across the river, but one of them's well protected. Radiant Tombstone down off the bat. Now they Winter's Curse Toy, and they engage on him with the Quapple, removing him from the fight. Lubby next, charged by KYT, will end up going down. Nether striking back onto the low ground, ping-ponging all around. KYT finding 2 kills for the team, and still Miracle wanting to fight this. Has a fresh Focus Fire ready to go any moment now. But no Tombstone, and that is going to force the retreat. But only for now. They consider re-engaging. Call walking in, getting silenced. Does not have the mech just yet. He's fairly squishy. Oh, there's the Shackle. Miracle finding the openings, just making solo plays. A very iconic Miracle Dota. Is going to end up salvaging that engagement.
Yeah, going back to the point where I was talking about before the fight started, I don't think it's necessary a BKB on the SF this game. You might actually go for SNY. Because the BKB will only block like the Power Shot and the Scream, Splinter Blast. It's not like it's blocking a lot of spells though. So I'm not sure if it's the most optimal choice for the SF here.
What's the better option, do you think?
I think it might actually be SNY though. I think SNY, like you want just stats, raw stats to survive, armor and HP. I'm not sure about BKB though. I think BKB doesn't mean that you are gonna survive the fight for sure, because there's too many stuff that goes through spell immunity.
Yeah, even the Tombstone zombie slow goes through it, so. And the Dazzle Weave as well, on top of everything you already mentioned. They really don't have much. And the shackle shot can also catch you before you BKB, and then you're just a very sad Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I guess if you really want a BKB, you're just more worried about getting locked down by the shackle as an initiating move. Apart from that, I don't think the BKB serves too much of a good purpose. And they're gonna make a move on fixers here in middle lane.
Charge through the tree line, catching him a bit off guard. Now Nether stringing it back, and then bashing him again. They'll steal the blink as well on Noki. Although Miracle tries to rotate and find the opening. Shackle shot did not latch, gets lifted, drop back down, thrown away. Noki can blink himself out of here, and he will. Escaping, living to fight another day.
Huh, he wanted to shackle too there. Like Glimmer Cape saved the day.
They still stick around. They may even try to go back in.
He's going BKB, my friend. On the SF.
We'll see if the BKB actually has much of an impact. For now, KYT charging, hunting for Miracle. Has the Blink Dagger available. Shackling to cancel this now. Blinking up onto the high ground away from the Lina. And running for all he's worth as he pops the Invis. May even go on a hunting spree. TNT is the Bloodstone and is rather tanky, so not the easiest kill. Needs a +1, and that +1 is, well, I don't know if Dazzle's the +1. Miracle going for the Shackle, won't actually connect. Now blinking, dodging the Lina stun, turning back the other way with the Poison Touch coming out. Has to Bloodstone deny, does barely do it at the final hour. Joining the fight is Hana now, lifted, dropped straight up and down. The Tombstone was deployed for this. That'll be it though, just the Lina kill and not even actually a kill, just a deny in the end. iDeal still on top here by a decent amount.
The team fights are going to be very much on who gets the better initiating move, I think now. Like 5 minutes ago I said that FD has much better team fight, but right now I think it's going to come down to initiation.
Miracle gets lifted, drop back down. They got the Winter's Curse off on Toy, but it was very early, and now it's been stolen. They can turn this potentially. Noki with the Curse on the Fixers. The Queen of Pain not finished off, though. Neither Curse getting the job done. Quap Bolt used as a screening maneuver here as iDeal retreat. Trying to find the opening onto Hana. Tombstone about to cool down. Looked like it could have been a lot of heroes dying. Ends up being absolutely nothing. He sticks around for a bit.
They actually blew the Sonic Wave, and it wasn't an Aghanims one, so it's a long cooldown. I think iDeal can actually reset and try to take a fight after their heroes return from the fountain. I think iDeal is actually going to have a very good chance when FD doesn't have the Sonic Wave. They can actually look to take a very good fight here once the Spirit Breaker returns.
Fixers will take over the jungle. They got an aggressive ward down now, so looks like First Departure going to try to take this tier 1, and I guess the question is, Winter, you mentioned that Aegis earlier, is now the time to go for it?
I think they can though, honestly. If FD comes, it's gonna, because they show themselves at top, right? It's gonna take them a while, and they don't have Sonic Wave, so they are probably a lot weaker right now, so they might actually have a very good chance of winning the fight if you're iDeal against a team that doesn't have most of their spell damage, which is the Sonic Wave.
I've pulled a Versuda here, in case you didn't know. There's a double damager on Miracle, and with the Focus Fire, he almost gets the kill. He didn't pop the DD though. I think he thought he had it for free. RO2 still retreating. The silence comes out. Miracle blinks in, secures it. Still holding that double damager, and Shackle also available. Can he find the opening here? There's the slow from the Winter Wyvern. No Shackle just yet. Just not wanting to use it. Trying to find a better opening with the 2-hero Shackle. Miracle comes from the south side. Still, no, doesn't even connect this time around, but gets the kill anyway. Winter's Curse used onto Miracle, and not enough. Trying to set up for the Requiem, but he retreats out in time. And still holding his ground. The Undying will cover the retreat. Everybody survives here for the First Departure squad, and now they blink in. Shadow striking Noki, forcing him back. iDeal just cornered a bit. Well, they're leading in gold and experience. It doesn't really feel that way, Winter. It seems like they're always running from First Departure in these fights.
They have to run after this when Miracle has the Aegis. This is going to make it very tough for them to take a fight.
With the double damager in which he wisely conserves, it looks like he'll be able to get the Aegis freely. They can heal him up, and he's going to have his next item mostly done. 2,500 gold. What's your item here if you're a Wind Ranger? Is it a Daedalus? Are you looking for a little more farming potential from like a Maelstrom? What do you think the pickup is?
I think Deso or Daedalus. either one of those.
Okay, so just more single
Radiant's
target
top
burst
tower
then.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
they just need damage on the Wind Ranger. I don't think you go for the Maelstrom. Maelstrom is not as much damage.
Boy, trapped out. Winter's Curse coming through and, well, trying to steal the Tombstone, but only getting the Decay there, I believe, which is not really ideal, but Tombstone quickly finished off. Now KYT on the run. Call gets graved up at the last moment. They're going to keep him alive. The Undying throws out yet another Decay, and Glimmer Cape will be used to help cover the retreat here if necessary. So once again, just a scrappy little exchange from First Departure, and they come out on top. Still have these nice wards up, giving them the vision. They're just out fighting iDeal.
Yeah, and this Wind Ranger is gonna be a very big force in the fights because they don't have, as long as he doesn't get locked down by the Rubik or the Spirit Breaker, I think he's gonna be able to deal a lot of damage in team fights with the Focus Fire. So, and iDeal don't really have good tools at directly locking down the Windrunner, so it's gonna be difficult for them to actually find her, because he's gonna be sitting behind in the fight, waiting until he can actually find a good shackle and blink shackle, start the fight for his team and actually take down the target. And they don't have good defensive supports like FD have. FD have the two of the best in the game, the Wyvern and the Dazzle, so they can actually protect their teammates, while iDeal don't really have anything to protect their teammates.
We'll get the tower now, Winter, and that Age is still in tow. And a BKB coming for the Wind Ranger. There's no Lina Ags in sight. Even went for the Yule Scepter. Miracle's gonna have a field day. How do they kill him?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think they can though, with the Aegis. The use is actually, I think, still a good pickup here for the Lina. He's gonna be able to set up a fight for his team. They don't really need to rely on. I mean, if he don't get a Yule, they have to rely solely on the Spirit Breaker to start the fight. I think that's not very ideal for them. They need multiple ways of actually at least starting the fight. They can't really rely on the Spirit Breaker alone, because Rubik doesn't have a blink or anything yet, so it's kind of difficult for the Rubik to actually go in front, go near the fight and actually lift a target. So they need another way, and having the use on the Lina is gonna be very useful for his team.
That's the completed BKB for Miracle. Now, I mean, and we also talked about this in the draft. This team has so much survivability in general. Another pause. Yay. So now you've got the Cold Embrace, the Glimmer Cape. Oh, sorry, the Glimmer Cape's on the dire side. They have the Mech, the Undying Heal, the Tombstone, as well as an Urn. A lot of ways to keep Miracle alive, and that's before the Windrun BKB combo. This is and that's killing him once. that we're saying probably isn't even possible, let alone twice.
That's an invulnerable combo.
Yeah.
Windrun BKB.
Now you just get damage.
I'll tell you a story, you know. I used to play with this guy, and he always tells us that every day he has this wet dream about Dota where his Windrunner, he pops his BKB, he pops his Windrun, and he has 1 HP and he TPs out in front of 5 heroes.
Really? That's quite the fantasy. Very detailed. He's put some thought into it. Miracle going for the blink. Initiation wants to maybe force out a BKB charge here. It is the 9-second BKB, but Toy just walks away. And now Rubik steals Focus Fire. That's cute. Probably not very effective, though.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, but I'm still quite surprised he went for the BKB though, because like you mentioned, they have a lot of... Oh, Queen of Pain is in trouble.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Fixers is in a world of pain. He tries to blink away. Scarth Nuke is going to follow him, and he tanks it while Grave. Very well done. First Departure. Saving lives.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. They have really good supports like you mentioned, and I think you can actually rely on them to save you. I'm actually quite surprised he went for BKB.
They heal Miracle. He's still got Aegis here anyway. Even if they kill him up the first time, tries to retreat his way out. TNT going for the stun. Now the Greaves used to heal Miracle up as they Winter's Curse Toy. Laguda will be committed. And now the Spirit Break on the other side of the fight. BKB still going to work. Gets the bash on Fixers. Needs a bit more. Requiem Miracle just BKBs. Tanks it and turns with the Focus Fire. Jumping on top of him under the Tier 2 tower. Just styling on iDeal. Power shot off the mark this time, but... Mission accomplished. Gets the Shadow Fiend, forces out the Requiem, and just immediately the rotation onto the bottom lane, looking for yet another tower.
That was Windrun plus BKB for you.
He's immortal.
Yeah, but does he need to be immortal? I don't think he's gonna be in any danger of dying in team fights as long as the dazzle is there for him. So
maybe we'll see another blink in here. Also, blink was stolen by Noki, something to keep in mind. Some ability to retreat. Still no Lina Ags though. And Miracle, the siege engine. This time he doesn't have the Aegis, has to be a bit careful. He'll wind run immediately. The Dazzles pop the ultimate, giving the team more durability as they continue their siege, bringing the tower already down to half. Miracle, he wants to get up to that high ground and avoid the missed chance, but a bit too risky to do so, afraid of getting picked off, so they'll be happy with their 2 towers, their Shadow Fiend kill. First Departure will retreat. It looks like they'll be farming up a bit from here. They're in good position now, though, and they have closed the gap. This is getting close to a 10,000 gold swing now. It doesn't look like all that much, but it begins to add up. About 7,500 gold swing and maybe a little more once that tower fully kicks in on the graph.
Yeah, they're going to get double Glimmer Capes on 2 of their supports. Wyvern is 250 off. Dazzle is... Yeah, Dazzle has enough gold right now for the Glimmer Cape. So these 2 items are going to be, I think, extremely impactful for the supports to protect their carries. But then again, the Queen and the Windrunner actually has their BKB, so I don't think they actually need it that much. They probably use the Glimmer Cape for the Undying mainly, since he's going to be in front to soak up a lot of damage or to protect themselves against Lina.
What an item. Do you think Glimmer's going to get nerfed at all in the next patch?
Quite possible though, but I'm not sure how more you want to nerf it. Maybe give it more cooldown on the cape, or increase the gold, I guess. Make it more expensive.
I just want to see more force stabs. I kind of missed the days where it was like, there'd be like 10 force stabs every game, you know, or like 4 or 5 force stabs.
Yeah, Glimmer is just more reliable nowadays.
Yeah, but force stab's more fun. Like, I think it's more entertaining to watch as a commentator. Or the good old 10 blink dagger meta.
You must be that commentator expecting to cast every game with techies. Then you would fulfill your excitement.
I think the dream scenario with techies is to only cast the first 10 minutes, and then the game just ends. Like, that's the dream techies game as a caster.
You know that's not going to happen, right?
Yes, it's actually impossible. Unless they just tusk techies so hard that the enemy team just throws in the towel right away.
Tusk techies so hard. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's definitely a thing. Miracle trying to shackle KYT here. It won't latch just to get him a bit farther back. Cancels the Nether Strike. Miracle is really pushing the limits of what his hero can offer, and he's now even hunting towards that top rune. Forces out the BKB. He's going to kill KYT anyway with the crit. Gets the job done. And now shackling Toy as well. Focus Fire is on cooldown. Thank God if you're Toy. Still may not make it out here. BKB pops the mech. Quappo brings him down to about half. He kills off the tombstone. Now going for the TP out. BKB is long enough. And he will make it. Almost got Winter's Curse there, though. Was just inches away from it.
If he got cursed, he would have regretted killing the tombstone before he TP'd.
Yeah, it's like you use your 9-second BKB. Or I guess that was his 8-second. You really want to get something out of it, but it would not have been. He would not have been happy if he dies there. That's for sure.
The Wyvern is actually not getting the Glimmer Cape. Maybe he wants a dagger, possible, so he can actually initiate for his team.
I guess they figure they really only need one, because it's like just keep Wind Ranger alive. Everyone else will be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a very good item on Wyvern.
Yeah, I guess the Wyvern has a little more big play potential than an Undying at this stage. So probably does save for the Blink Daggers. In fact, I think he just bought it. Seems like it may be coming out here.
Yeah, he just bought it.
Yeah, it's on the courier.
They're waiting for the dagger maybe, before they try and take this fight on the high ground. Roshan is actually also spawning soon, so that might actually be a better idea to wait for the Aegis before they go high ground.
They are backing off now. First departure. No gem at this point. I kind of felt like they would get one just for the map control.
Map control aside, there's also Glimmer Capes on the field, so at the end of the day, True Sight is something very important to have still.
Miracle is closing on Daedalus. Do you see iDeal contesting this Aegis, Winter? Do they have a choice?
Huh. It's more like what's the risk and reward, you know, when they contest this. I think if they give away the Aegis, it's difficult to defend against the Windrunner. They don't have any good options, so it's not like they have a choice or not. It's like it's just better for them to contest outside the base, and hopefully they can actually blow up the Windranger with their Laguna Blade with Aghanims now. So
they are looking to blow someone up, that's for damn sure. 5 hero smoke. But the Radiant Ward's giving so much information. They see that these lanes are pushing in. All 3 are pushing in. Nobody's on the map right now. This is looking very questionable.
Oh, the Roche just spawns when the courier went past.
Oh, like after he went past or while he was there?
No, while he went past, so they know the Roshan is up.
Okay.
They saw the Roshan.
Miracle's going to shove in this mid lane. He's smoked. He may get the initiation off here. Blinks up to the high ground. Does find the Shadow Feed. There's the Winter's Curse. Instantly deleting their big carry from the fight. Laguna used to turn this. Will finish off the Dazzle, but Miracle's healthy for now. Even through the Nether Strike. Tries for the TP out. He's got a Haste Rune bottled up as well. Doesn't need it. Still hanging on to it. A godlike Windranger just wrecking the game. And looks like he may push it now. Try to take this lane of Rax. Almost has the completed Daedalus available to be purchased up. And does buy the recipe. Yeah, buys the recipe. They're going in. Glyph is still at the ready. Shadow Fiend does have his buyback. Miracle's going to force that out with a single ultimate here. So Glyph, he's not backing off easy. Power shutting down the wave. They lift up and drop down Hana, but he gets tossed away. Lito wanted to stun that, and well, it didn't have the Laguna, so it wouldn't have really mattered too much. They're pulling down for a few seconds more. Tower about to drop. Fixer's giving a couple of extra auto attacks from the low ground. Now tanking it. They will stun Miracle. Anything to slow this damn Windranger down, but it's too late. Damage was done. Shadow Fiend still not up for 10. And with a completed Daedalus, Miracle is officially king of the battlefield.
Yeah, don't you feel the Shadow Fiend's BKB is not very useful?
It's just going to be too slow. It looks like this Roshan dropping so quickly to the focus fire. iDeal is rushing into position. Can they get there in time? They've only got a stolen flesh golem. They need a big spell still here. Maybe that Winter's Curse will turn it. Miracle grabs the Aegis off the bat and now is going to blink out, try to survive. Leaving the teams very much on their own, though. This could end up hurting them. The Curse is cooling down for about 4 seconds. Out goes the Laguna Blade, and they have lost 2 of the key supports off the bat, but now a 2-hero Shackle. Miracle, focus fire. Oh, doesn't have it right now. KYT charging, trying to retreat. They lift him as well. He still gets less auto attack, and now it looks for Noki, the Tombstone, doing magic. Who needs the hero when you've got the ultimate? And we'll end up getting the Rubik as well there. Cleans up in the end, still holds the Aegis. This could be the end for iDeal.
Yeah, that team fight there was just basically why you don't fight at congested area against a Tombstone. A high ground Tombstone is just very hard to deal with if you don't have the right heroes. They don't have anyone that can actually kill the Tombstone there on the high ground.
It's funny because they have the Queen of Pain, and you know, Windranger isn't really you don't think like, oh, that's a traditional 1-position carry, but this feels like a 4 protect 1 game with just the Windranger as like the hero and everyone else keeping him alive. It's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, but she can dish out an absurd amount of damage. So.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, like you can't argue that after this game, that's for sure. Miracle is giving the pain to iDeal. He will work on the range racks. They've already gotten the melee though. Objective achieved. Now stealing the Scream. Not the best spell to grab here, and they will charge on the Fixers, committing fairly heavily for the Queen of Pain. The Curse though, gonna turn this one. Miracle Shackle Shot came out, didn't actually latch. Still going on to KYT, who glimmers back to safety, and they do have a gem on Lubby. As Noki also getting bounced away. He steals the Arctic Burn. Looks like he wanted the Curse. Isn't able to grab it though. Plop now going in as well. Commits, but dies. Oh, Laguna in the dome. That's the trade. Toy also on the run, blinking forward as Miracle. Pops him like a pinata. Miracle finding the openings. And just continues to get kill after kill after kill. Lubby now, TP out. Can he make it? Oh, he does. He's going to survive and already embrace himself in the well. There might be a nuke following him back, but he should be A-okay. I think I saw it as I clicked. Well, maybe it disappeared. Anyway, he survives. Miracle goes back in. Blink Shackle just going to work. Now TNT, the next man down. This is the Windranger show. Miracle is it's like his face is the entire byline for the show at this point. Just having all the glory, all the kills, a 13-0-4 performance. The team's done a great job of keeping him alive and getting him farmed, and he is repaying the investment now. Blinking in again, the shackles, a 4-shot bringing down the Rubik. Too easy, simply too easy. He tried to steal a spell and he'll pay, and with that, iDeal are eliminated from the first BTS SEA Cup.
The miracle show, my friend.
They banned the Huskar, you know? They banned the Huskar. Death by the Wind Ranger instead.
Maybe he's trying to tell them next time against Huskar, pick Wind Ranger. Aha.
Well, Winter, what do you think of this first departure team now that we've seen them play? Like, where do you kind of rank them in SEA?
Why do you have to ask me this, dude? Okay, so I think they are definitely not gonna be like top tier. Like maybe the middle tier teams, but maybe 4th or 5th. I think the stronger teams will be obviously Fnatic. Don't have to count them because they are obviously the strongest team. Then there's MVP. In the Philippines, I think TNC at the moment, TNC, Mineski are kind of the stronger teams. But I know that Exaggeration actually won a recent LAN event in Philippines, so probably 3 of the teams are the strongest teams in Philippines. So that adds the number to 5 teams already. Fnatic, the 3 Philippine teams, and MVP, the first MVP team, the Phoenix team. So I think FD is like maybe 6 or 7 after them.
All right. Well, for now, they're top 4, at least in our cup. Of course, don't have to play all the teams to advance in a single elimination format. So with that, guys, that's going to wrap up the broadcast. Sorry, Cyclops, your favorite team going home, but hopefully they can bounce back next time. Guys, be sure to follow Winter at WinterDota, myself at LDDota if you'd like, and of course, follow the channel here at Beyond the Summit if you want to stay tuned to all the action. We'll be back tomorrow when we've got our last semifinal, and then we will have the grand finals the following day. This cup's almost over. Thank you all for joining us. And until next time, LD and Winter signing off.